What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about there's it's been rumoring out for quite a while now, but the Last of Us remake is possibly coming this year and a lot sooner than anticipated. I remember when the rumors started circulating about December, about the remake happening. I was like, really? That's going to be interesting. Why does it need to be remake? It's still, I mean, sort of kind of graphics are kind of dated a little bit, but for the most part, it still does a good job, and it's a beautiful game. Now, why remake? I don't know. If I had to imagine, and I would hope that if there is going to be a remake, I would hope that it's really just the graphical end of the game. Period. Maybe do a little more with the combat stuff a little bit, maybe the shooting, reload, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe change the animations on that a little bit, but I think the story needs to stay as it is because that's what made that game great. A little bit of a side story: how I became acquainted to the game. I did not originally play the game when it came out on PS3. Um, I didn't even heard of the game until I wanted to upgrade to a PS4, and this was back in 2014, I think. Uh, they were GameStop was running a bundle special and everything, trading your PS3, get X amount credit go towards as long as it's towards a bundle, and they had two bundles. It was either Batman Arkham Asylum bundle or The Last of Us. Well, I never played any of the Batman stuff, and I just was not really attracted to the Batman game and everything. It just didn't seem interested in me. But I saw The Last of Us and everything. I was like, what is that about? So I looked at it. I was like, oh, about an infection spreading and people turning in and all this kind of stuff. And these people to last or survive the human race and everything. And I was like, hmm. And it was quoted the best game of the year in 2013 and everything, and it was a remastered version. And I was like, okay, oh, you know what? That sounds interesting. I'll play that. And I can tell you, first time I played that game and everything, oh my gosh, I have never played a game that just put me such an emotional roller coaster from start to finish. I mean, it just from spoilers, for the beginning of Sarah, her dying and everything, I about wept on that one because, I mean, just the storyline, the characters, the voice actors, all of it is just perfect in that game. I mean, the game actually created kind of like a game movie feel to it, and I felt like I was kind of part of that, if that makes sense. Kind of uh, like getting to know these characters in more of a personal way through some of their backgrounds and everything. And I just love the game. It's a beautiful game, especially when they had the PS4 Pro kind of upgrades and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that the Last of Us remake is just a graphical upgrade and keep the storyline the same. Do not change the storyline. Leave it as it is. It's a wonderful story. And I play that game from start to finish. It had to be at least over a dozen times because the game is just, I just love the game. I've just absolutely love the game, the story and everything, and it's, if you never played it, you got to play it. Now, I can tell you when I first heard the clicker noise, that was freaky as crap. It is the creepiest noise I ever heard in my life. I mean, it literally freaked me out. And then it really, the way it sounded, how they came up with the sound, really backs up what that thing looks like, what the clickers look like, especially bloater. That bloater, dude, like, what the hell is that thing? It's a bloater? Like, oh my god. God mode there. Holy cow! I mean, it's just everything about The Last of Us. I have not played The Last of Us Part Two. I kind of got a little hesitant of buying it and everything because I've heard all the rumors and all the backlash about it and everything in the story and all that kind of stuff. Like, so I'm gonna, even though it's already been a while, I'm still gonna kind of wait a little bit. You know, I'm kind of waiting for things to kind of calm down about that, and then maybe I'll actually start playing the Last of Us Part Two. I might actually buy it and everything, and just give my own personal take on it. But I just hope, pray, I just hope and pray that Neil Druckmann just keeps the storyline exactly the way it is. Don't implement anything into it. Please don't do that. Just, if you're gonna upgrade the graphics and everything and make it look better and everything, I'm all for that. And I think people will love both versions of the original and to the remake as long as it's graphical improvements and some of the combat moves and all that kind of stuff improvements and everything. I think because I'm a big fan of The Last of Us. I'm a huge fan. Love the game. Absolutely. That's the only game that before The Last of Us, the only game I felt like I had just an attachment to was NCAA football. Um, get out of the way. Notifications. Was NCAA football, football games, and I love college football. And if you must know, I am an Alabama fan. Roll Tide. Anyway, so yeah, and then when The Last of Us and I played that and everything, I just never had a game that just sucked me into that story and sucked me into that game like it did, and just really cared about the characters and valued the characters. And like I said, the game to me personally was an emotional roller coaster, and if only I could relive that moment. I remember how I felt, but ain't nothing like reliving a moment, just reliving it, sometimes I try to get to relive it and everything, playing it, over and over, but sometimes, you just, it's not the same, it's not the same, but that's okay. I'm grateful that, and I'm sure plenty of y'all are grateful that y'all got to play it and experience it for the first time and everything. Y'all remember what it was like. I have that feeling of, Sarah, Ellie, Joel, Tess. Oh, Tess. Tess is a great character, man. She's a badass, man. Total badass. And Ellie, she's a badass too. All right, she is a badass too. Uh, Joel is, dude. Joel is just like that guy right there, man. That's just like that's the alpha male that that's the guy right there. He's it, Anyway, so I'm curious. I just hope they don't change the storyline. That's one thing I hope. Please don't change the storyline. Don't do that. Keep the storyline as it is already. Just upgrade the graphics. I think everybody would be absolutely happy. And if anybody, and the reason being is that one good example is the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remastered. There were some changes in there that I liked. The graphics looked amazing. I mean amazing. But there's some things that they changed, especially when it came to the cinematic part of it and everything, which I thought some of it was good, but there's one in particular that I did not like, and I hated it because it was at the end, and it was when Soap got stabbed in the chest by Shepard, and in the original game he pulls a knife out and then flips it like so, and the music is building through that entire event. But anyway, he pulls a knife out, flips it, and right at Shepard's eye. Where in the remastered and everything, he pulls it and he drops it and flips, and it's just weird. And I don't know, I didn't like that because I think like, oh, it's just, I don't know, I just didn't like that. I wish they would have kept it the same, and I felt like the music was turned down. The music added, like the build up to it, and they kind of took that away. and I was very disappointed in that, and because it kind of took up the hype, or the buildup of what was going on and everything, because music just enhances a lot of stuff. So that's one example I will say and everything. And there was, like I said, there was a good stuff on the cinematics that they changed that I liked. One of them was when, oh gosh, the two characters that got portrayed by Shepard at the helicopter when they were trying to evacuate the cabin house. And Shepard said, "Good, that's one less loose end." And he shoots one. I can't remember the character's name. I should know it. God, that bugs me now. And then he shoots. Then he shoots the other guy. And when he's kneeling down to pick up the device and everything, the character in the remaster grabs Shepard by the arm, and the way Shepard looked at him was like, "Peasant, fool," and did that. I thought that added to it. I thought that was a great addition. And then basically put the nail in the coffin about the two characters being burnt alive, and everything. Because before the original, you didn't see the other guy being burned. It was just you, but then you kind of see the effect. Like, yeah, he poured gas on all of us. It was, yeah. So that kind of nailed that one in the coffin. But that's a good example. So I'm, like I said, please, Naughty Dog, don't change the storyline. Keep it the way it is, because that's how it affected us. Yeah, anybody agree? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. What is your opinion on that about the Last of Us remake? I'd like to know. I'd like to interact with y'all and everything and talk to y'all about this. I think this would be a great topic to talk about. So it was great sitting here. Thank you for allowing me to talk about this, and thank you for watching this. Thank you for watching this. It means a lot. Thank you to here to speak my mind and everything and how I feel about it. So, yeah, it was great talking to y'all. I hope to see y'all next time. All right, y'all have a good one.